Hi everyone, and welcome back to Nick's Diecast. For today's video, I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale Road Legends Shelby AC Cobra. So this is an overall good model. It was actually given to me by a friend of mine from high school, so I'm very grateful for that. I got it this past summer, along with that Lamborghini Gallardo coupe that I reviewed a little while back. This model was made for quite some time. I think it might be still produced under a Road Signatures or a Yatming, but it was made for quite some time. You can find a lot of them on eBay currently. I did a search and there was about 60 something results that popped up, and these range in price from anywhere from as low as like $15 used and out of the box to as high as like $60, and that really depends on like the color. And I guess the condition of the model and whatnot. As far as colors go, you can find it in the silver with these matte black stripes. It also comes in a dark metallic blue with white stripes, and I believe in other colors too, such as white and red. But overall, I'd say in terms of details, this is a good model. And if you're into, these little British sports cars, I would say go ahead and get it. And if you're a fan of Shelby's overall too. So we'll start up here with the front here in terms of its overall details. I think Road Legends did a nice job with these lights here. The very basic round headlights that you saw on all of these Shelby Cobras. They have kind of a peg in the center, but that's actually where the light bulb would be on the real car, so that's not a big deal that that's there. You do have separate pieces for these lower lights here, which is nice to see. Kind of these like jeweled color pieces here. And the center grille here, that actually is completely hollowed out. You can actually see the fan and the radiator inside the engine too, so that's really good attention to detail. They could have just blocked this off, but they went to the trouble of actually making it all hollowed out and see-through, which is nice to see. The paint quality on this model, I would say, is a very good. It's kind of like a metal. It's kind of like a metal flake silver, and it looks really nice. It's like well applied throughout. There's no like paint bubbling or anything like that. And they do a nice job with these stripes here too. These are actually matte colored stripes, and they're nice and centered onto the car, and they're, I think, well applied overall. And of course, on the other models, I don't know if the blue version, if those white stripes are matte, or if they're also, or if like they're glossy, like the rest of the car is. But on here, these stripes are a matte finish, so I think that's a cool touch, and it really adds to the overall look of this car too. So taking a look at the side, we'll look at these wheels. They did a nice job with these wheels here with that little kind of gold 3-spoke in the center. And the other spokes are actually done in a black too. These are actually branded tires. You can actually see like the PSI level and stuff on them. The wheels are a little bit wobbly though, as you can see here. But you do get full steering, which is nice. You can kind of put the model up on a shelf like this, and it does give kind of like a more aggressive presence, I guess. And proper to the real Shelby, the rear tires are very thick, and the front tires are much more thin. These side exhaust pipes are also well done. As far as I've seen, they are chrome on the real car too. So it's not improper that they did these in chrome. They're actually well attached to. They're not like loose or anything like that. I think that's nice to see that. You have these very small 427 badges on the side here. I'm not really sure what they say. Just 427 Cobra. But they're on the real car, and Road Legends did a good job of replicating those. Taking a look at the back here. Okay detailing with these taillights. They're not clear. They're just kind of painted chrome plastic pieces. If they had done like actual lenses, they would have maybe looked a little bit more like realistic. I think what they have here is fine. And then, of course, you get this massive gas cap back here. It almost seems like you can pop it open, but of course you can't. So I think that's a nice touch. And also, these badges are actually separate, fully three-dimensional plastic pieces. They're not just painted on, and they're not just stickers. They actually are separate pieces. You don't really see that too often on these budget models, but Road Legends actually went to the trouble of doing these as kind of separately cast pieces, which I think is a really cool touch that you don't see all too often. And also, the license plate back here is a whole separate piece too, like this frame and everything. And the latch for the trunk door is done very nicely too. So in terms of opening features, we'll start back here with the trunk. A very tiny trunk. And Road Legends actually does this cool thing where it feels like and looks like it's actually felt carpeting in here, but it's actually a special type of paint that they use to kind of spray the inside. There's a similar feature with my Maisto BMW Z8 where it's not actually carpeted, but it has this kind of textured plastic, so it looks and feels like it's like real carpeting. So Road Legends does that in here, and they do a great job. It even looks like carpeting. Like, I thought it was carpeted when I first got this, and I was like, wow. And it looks really cool. It's even on the interior too, which I will get to soon. But this bar you see back here, that actually continues down through the body. They actually make a hole in the body, and this whole thing continues down into the trunk. This bar is on the real Cobras. I think it's just like a roll bar. They only put it on like the one side. If anyone knows what this actually is, if it's on a roll bar and I'm wrong, then please let me know, because I'm not really sure what it actually is called. But overall, I think it's a really cool feature that they do, this kind of carpet paint, as I like to call it. We'll take a look at the engine next. You can kind of pull it open with these little latches on here, and the hood actually stays open well too. There's no like prop rod or anything, but the hinges are very strong, so fairly well detailed in the engine here. You can see that you can actually see all the way down to the bottom of the car. There's that fan right there, and also the radiator piece too. The main block has a lot of chrome on it. It does say Cobra 427 on the sides here. I don't know if the real engine should have this much chrome in it, but at least there's several like separate components in here. You can see that there's this chrome piece up here. There's like the battery, I guess that's the battery pack there. That's done in black with kind of some silver painting. And then you have some blue down here with a few little hoses and wires. So, not like the absolute greatest engine detailing in the world, but I think it's really well done, especially for like the $30 to $40 price range that you often see the model go for. I think they did a nice job. All right, we'll take a look at the interior next. Everything about this model and the real car is just very small, like these little tiny doors, that little tiny trunk. It's not an underscaled model. Like the AC and Shelby Cobras were actually this small. To kind of give you an idea, here's my 1/24th. This is my 1/24th scale Lamborghini. And then if you put it next to this, this is 1/18 scale, and this is 1/24th scale. And you can just see how small of a car this is. They're almost the same size, and this is a whole different scale. So if this Aventador were 1/18 scale, it would just dwarf, or this would just be dwarfed by the Lamborghini. Just kind of a random little trivia there. But moving on to the interior, there's no door panel detail whatsoever. I don't think there was anything on the door panels on the real car. There's a little bit of like metal, like etching in here, it looks like, but there's no like, plastic paneling or anything like that. And I've seen other pictures of this model, and they don't come with any detailing on the doors. I think to improve weight on the car, the real Cobra didn't have it. I think it just had like the exposed like door latch, and that was it. But the interior detail is actually very well done. This steering wheel, it looks like it's the actual wood steering wheel that's on the real car. There's actually these little like rivets, it looks like, going all along the perimeter. And the steering wheel spokes are actually well done too. And the overall shape and size of the steering wheel is well done too. And the coloring too. It actually has a Shelby Cobra badge in the center, which looks good. The center stack and dashboard, I think Road Legends did a very nice job. These gauges look like they were the actual gauges on the real car. I know that these are stickers, but they almost look like they're stamped on and not stickers. A lot of times you see these like kind of stickered on gauges and they're peeling off, like they're off center, but these are actually perfectly done. They may even be stamped on. I don't want to be like scratching at them to see if they're stickers, but I think they did a really cool job with those. There's some little silver buttons going along here, and also you have the silver handle of the glove box there too. They did a nice job with that. And of course, you also get the carpet paint that you see in the trunk on the interior too. It goes down into the footwells and is actually in the center portion here. You even get a fire extinguisher in the center here, along with this shifter, which looks actually real, which is cool. Kind of loose, but it's not going to, be pulling off or anything like that. This windshield is very flimsy. I forgot to mention that, so don't touch it like this because it might actually just break off. And I like the detail with these kind of vented windows on the sides here too. The seats are nicely done too. They kind of have a nice overall shape and pattern to them. They're actually like the real leather that you see on the real car too. So I think that's a cool touch. And overall, the shut lines throughout the model are good too. Taking a look underneath, there's not too much to see, but I think Red Legends does a good job with like replicating the underside of the engine and everything. You can see there's all that blue that you saw from up above, and this pipe actually continues into the front too, which is nice to see. There isn't as much detailing back here. It's kind of all done in like black plastic, but I think what's there looks good overall. So if you can find this model for a cheap price, it really does look good just in general, like these AC and Shelby Cobras. They're like these cool little sports cars. I think this would look good in any collection, especially if you collect cars from like the 60s and, just, these British cars, because this actually is a British car. It started out as the AC Cobra, and AC is a British car company. But if you can find this model for a decent price, I'd say maybe not go above like $45, but I think for any price below that, it's well worth it, and it would look good, I think, in any collection of classic cars. Hope this is helpful, and as always, feel free to comment down below with your thoughts on this model or on the Shelby Cobra. Thanks for watching.